Hey, honey. Hey, it is your girl, Miss Leda, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another video, honey. I hope you guys are having a fantabulous day because you know your girl definitely is. So, let's get into what this video is going to be about today. So I'm just going to be sharing with you guys some of my thoughts and my opinions in regards to Love by Erica and Mr. Crier. I'm not going to go too in depth, but I am going to give you an overview in regards to how I see it. And you can take it for what it's worth and agree or disagree. Either way, I'm going to be cool. So, in my thoughts, I feel like I see both sides of the coin. I see where Erica is coming from when she says, hey, you know, here it is. You made me these promises that you were going to be my child's father. And then when it actually came time to sign the paperwork, you didn't do it. And so that's upsetting for any woman to have to deal with that situation when you have a person who has told you out of their own mouth that they would be there for your child. And then for you to renege on what you said is as if you're not only hurting her, but you're also hurting that child that was just brought into the world because now you're taking back what you said you were going to do. And men are supposed to stand on their word. That's all that they have is their word, you know. And so for you not to do something that you said that you were going to do, it definitely doesn't look good. And not only that, timing is everything. The timing in regards to when Love by Erica was actually told that Crier was no longer going to sign the documentation was, I believe she said, shortly after she had had the baby. And so, again, timing is everything. That's a little difficult to deal with, and you just gave birth to a baby. That's the last thing on your mind is you're thinking that, oh, now we're going back on our word type thing. So that's how I feel in regards to that. Now, let me say this. You know, yes, Love by Erica has commented and stated that she's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. Nobody in this world is perfect. She has commented that she has 3 kids with 3 different fathers. Okay, you're not the only one in the world who has had 3 kids by 3 different men. And you probably are not going to be the last. So my thing to you is don't allow those things to be a crutch. The only thing I can tell you is you see it as a mistake. But sometimes God gives us bigger challenges in life because he feels like we can handle it. You may be able to tell your story to some young lady later on down the road so that way you can deter her from actually going down the same path that you actually have went down. Now, I will say this to you. You have made the comment that Crier did not come and pick Dion up on the scheduled time that he was supposed to, and that you might have had plans. Let's be realistic. You know, you had just given birth to a baby, and so your plans was probably to sleep. And here it is, you weren't able to sleep because Dion was still there and Crier didn't come and pick him up as planned. But you also have to be aware that sometimes things happen and stuff doesn't go according to plan. Now, what else I want to say to you is I understand that it's frustrating that here it is that you have a 1-year-old and a newborn and that you are not able to get the amount of sleep that your body requires, that you're not able to brush your teeth, wash your behind and all of that the way that you want to because you have to be there for your kids. But baby, let me tell you like this. When you lay down to make them kids, you knew that it was going to be a possibility if you didn't use protection that you would get pregnant. And that at the end of the day, you were still going to have to be a mama to your kids. So even though the fathers aren't doing what you feel that they should be doing to help you, you knew the risk and the consequences when you laid down to have sex. So I do understand the frustration. I understand the hurt behind not getting the assistance that you feel that you need. But you also have to understand that not only are they at fault, but you have to look in the mirror as well. Now, Luvd by Erica did make one powerful statement when she said, you have to be careful who you lay down with. And you're definitely right about that. You have to be careful who you lay down with. There's more rooms inside of a house besides the bedroom. Take the time and opportunity to get to know someone before you rush into the bedroom. You might have sexual desires that you want to get filled, but baby, sometimes they need to wait because you can be walking right into danger. So take the time to get to know someone and also get to know yourself and know your self-worth. Last, before I move on to Crier, I will say as well, I don't know how many videos I watched of Mr. Crier's, and he constantly said on his videos, I'm single, so I can do what I want. I'm single, so I can do whatever I want. So it didn't seem like to me that Mr. Crier was actually trying to entertain any type of relationship with anyone. It just seemed like he was trying to be there for the mother of his child while still carrying on a life outside of the children and outside of Luvd by Erica. So I don't know what took place behind the scenes in regards to him or her having a conversation about entertaining a relationship again. It just always seems to me that he has put it in the forefront that he's single. Like he's not trying to get into a relationship right now. That he's single, he's dating, he's going to take his time and explore every avenue with every female that he possibly meets. And he could do that because he's single. Like he said it so many times. So I don't know, again, what conversation that took place that made Miss Erica feel that there was a possibility that they were going to get back together. Because even saying, hey, let me adopt your child doesn't mean that y'all getting back together. It simply means that he wants to be there for your child as well as the child that he already created with you. It's not a, how can I say it? It's not a way to go ahead and mend fences and let's go ahead and be a family now. No, it's simply let me be there for your child. I can be there for your child and my child as well, and we don't have to be in a relationship. So all I can say is when someone has repeatedly said to you that they're single, baby, take them on their word and don't even entertain the thought of a possible relationship, because he said it multiple times over and over again that he's single, he's single, he's single, he's single. So sometimes we can create things in our own head because of something that someone said or did that looked good and made it look like we were going to be back together. But in actuality, they've already put everything that they wanted on the table by simply saying, I'm single. When it comes to Mr. Crier, I honestly have to say I'm proud of him because he took a proactive approach when it came to the situation. He had to sit down and think about what he had said prior, which is the fact that he wanted to sign the birth certificate and be a part of this child's life. However, he then had to realize that, hey, I was this gentleman last year in December. I was the one who wanted a DNA test. So I definitely know how this gentleman feels in regards to just simply wanting to know if he's the father. Now, I know he basically was saying like he didn't agree with how Mucker had took the approach while Love by Erica was pregnant. Regardless if he knew or not for sure that he was the father, he was still there, with Love by Erica, going through arguments, fussing and fighting and everything else, but he was still there throughout the pregnancy, in addition to her giving birth. And so, in Cryer's eyes, in the very beginning, by Mucker not actually being there to go to the doctor's appointments, to watch Love by Erica's growth in regards to being pregnant, it made it appear as if he really was going to not be a part of that child's life whatsoever. But again, Mucker later on came to say, like, if it's my child, I simply want a DNA test and I will take care of my child. So Cryer had to think about that. And again, this is all just my opinion and my thoughts. Cryer had to think about that he was just that person last year. He didn't say that he wasn't going to be a part of his child's life. He just said that he wanted a DNA test to prove and to make sure that it was his child. And so I believe that once Mucker has confirmed that it is his child, that he will do just that and be a part of his child's life. So Cryer had to understand that it was a different situation from what he was placed in as a child. His dad made the choice not to be readily available to his son, and he never met him. But here it is, this gentleman is not saying that he's not going to be in his child's life. He's saying simply he needs a DNA test. And so Cryer had to think about that. And if this gentleman is actually going to be a part of this child's life, then he didn't want to take that away from him by giving him his last name and letting it be a constant reminder that here it is, someone stepped up when you weren't in the picture. And it should never be a slap in the face, because he already has to deal with that. He already has to explain to his child where he was when his mother was pregnant, because there's multiple videos that are out there that shows that this man wasn't there, but yet another man has stepped into his shoes. And so with that being said, I just simply feel like Cryer has taken on the appropriate approach by not signing the actual birth certificate for that child, because that's not his child. And he wants to give that father every opportunity to be a father to his child. You never know what can transpire. Like say, he could be the world's greatest dad, even though he said some things that were hurtful in the very beginning, where he wanted an abortion and stuff like that. That man then turned around and realized that, hey, if that child is my child, I'm still going to be a part of my child's life. He didn't say that I'm not going to be a part of his life whatsoever after he had thought about the idiotic things that he had said previously. So I definitely have to say that I understand where both sides are coming from. And I also want to commend Mr. Cryer, because even though he was taken out of his character based upon posts and stuff that were made, he did come back and make his disrespect on the same level as his respect and his apology, because it was done on a social media platform that he felt that he was taken out of his character and that he cussed and he did a lot of other things. And so he came back to that very same platform and made sure that he apologized for his actions, which a lot of times we don't see that happen. We have people who will disrespect someone or call them out their names or do various things, and they never go back and apologize on that same platform that the disrespect took place. But your disrespect should be just as loud as your apology. And so I commend Crier for actually taking the actions to go back and apologize. Now, it's up to everyone to accept the apology or not. But that man did his part by coming back and apologizing for his actions and his behavior. He can't do anymore. That's all he can do. Nobody is going to get everything right 100% of the time. We all fall short. We all are going to make mistakes, but it's how we maneuver when we make those mistakes. We have to be willing to go back and apologize on the same platform that we made that mistake on. And we have to correct the situation as best as we possibly can. You should always be willing to right your wrong whenever you know that you made a wrong. And I simply feel like Crier did that after he had made the video cussing and everything. And then not only that, he righted his wrong when it came to his viewpoint in regards to wanting to be there for that child. He didn't want to take the child's father completely out of the picture. He wanted to make sure that, hey, I've actually sat down and given this careful thought and consideration. And after giving it careful thought and consideration, I see that you're just simply in the same situation I was in. And you just want a DNA test to be sure that it is your child. And so I will not take that away from you. Because look at Crier now. Now that he got the DNA test in regards to Dion, he is fully on board with taking care of his child. They may have their disagreements, but one thing she has always said is she can't take away from him is that he's a great dad. And so he wants to give Mucker the same opportunity to be that great dad. Why take that away from him by giving him someone else's name? So that's my thoughts and opinion. I hope you guys heard your girl out. You know, if you don't agree, I'm cool with that. If you do agree, I'm cool with that too. Either way, I just thank you for taking the time out to listen. All right, guys. So that is the end of this video. So until next time, I am your girl, Miss Leda, and I'm out this thing. Peace.